to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my 2022 governor election prediction that I did not do in my main prediction video. Before I start, obviously make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are getting really close to 200 subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe, and let's get there. Anyway, let's start off with the safe states. Now, before I even make any characterizations, there are so many crazy governor races or just governor politics that have happened over the last 2 to 4 years. It's going to be really, really interesting because so many governors' names have been brought up that we're going to see up for re-election come 2022. For example, you have in California, obviously Gavin Newsom with his recall election that failed against Larry Elder. Up in New York, Andrew Cuomo resigning as governor and being replaced by Kerry Hochul. Florida with Ron DeSantis, who made a name for himself in his 2018 victory. Larry Hogan will no longer be able to run for re-election in Maryland. So that state will be much harder for Republicans to win. Greg Abbott possibly getting challenged. Greg Abbott also making a name for himself. Up in Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer making a name for... So basically so many different people and so many different races that are going to be up for discussion. But anyway, let's get right into the safe Democrat states. Now, this is going to be very, very weird race to do, but let's, get right into it. I think that New Jersey will be a safe Democrat state, along with Connecticut and Rhode Island. Those races will remain in the safe Democrat category. I also believe that New York will remain a safe Democrat state, even though Kerry Hochul and all of the crazy New York politics, we haven't really seen at the moment a good candidate come out of New York. And Hawaii will also remain a safe Democrat state. I will not characterize California yet, or Oregon. Oregon, first of all, the governor currently there, Patty Murray, not Patty Murray, Kate Brown. She's Kevin Evers' senator. Kate Brown, not particularly popular there, only won back in 2018 by 6.1%, and that was in a blue wave year. And I will also characterize Illinois as a safe Democrat race. For safe Republican races, it'll obviously be Idaho, Wyoming, Nebraska, Oklahoma. I see Alaska being a safe Republican state. The southern states, of course, South Carolina. Let me see. I have to go back and check with Iowa. Okay, so Iowa and Ohio were definitely closer. Oh, and then also we have the Georgia race. That was, crazy when you look at what Trump has said, obviously about the current incumbent Georgia governor. Not many good things to say about him. I also see Massachusetts being a safe race, and Vermont, Charlie Baker. These are a red wave year. Vermont, for some reason, currently elects a Republican governor, although their senator is Bernie Sanders. So that's another interesting thing to look at. Anyway, let's get to the likely Democrat states. I think that Jared Polis, I believe that's his name, the governor of, I think he's the first openly gay governor of Colorado. I think that he will remain the governor of Colorado by a likely margin. Oh, also, might as well just cover in Virginia because that race has already been decided in 2021. Obviously, Glenn Youngkin won that race. Anyway, and I mean, okay, why don't we just characterize about what it was? So we'll put it in as a lean state. Also, likely state will be New Mexico, California, and Oregon. Oregon will also remain a likely Democrat state, likely Republican state. Kristi Noem in South Dakota, I forgot to mention her. She also made a name for herself this election. I'm also going to include the Iowa governor. I believe they actually won by a good margin in 2018. This was a red wave year. He actually defeated the incumbent Democrat governor, Kim Reynolds. Fred Hubble, I wasn't sure what his name was. I think that he actually will, win the re-election here. This is a red wave year. Republicans are very, very confident, very, very strong right now, have all the momentum, and I think that he will perform particularly well. I also want to look at Ohio while we're at it. Okay, so DeWine did win by that much. All right, so I'll put Iowa as a likely Republican state. And I'm also going to put Kansas as a likely Republican state. I think this was more of a fluke back in 2018 when the Democrat won. That was a blue wave year. Obviously, now we're in a red wave year. And I just think that the Republican candidate will probably win back that race by a likely margin. I just see that being similar to the race in Alabama between, I forgot what his name was. I already forgotten the Democrat senator of Alabama, but against, I'm forgetting the Republican senator at the moment. Okay, this is an issue. He's that football coach. I forgot what his name is though. Let's think. Doug Jones is the Democrat. But I can't remember the Republican. Anyway, I think that race is similar to what Kansas was. Anyway, let's move on to lean Republican states. I see Ohio being a lean Republican state with Mike DeWine. I see DeSantis being a lean Republican state in a red wave year. DeSantis will win by a lean margin, as well as Greg Abbott. Abbott, actually, I'm going to put as a likely margin. I don't think that better work really is going to. I think that poll's kind of ridiculous. I don't think Abbott's only up one against O'Rourke. I think Abbott will win in Texas in 2022 by a likely margin. Anyway, for lean margins, another lean margin, let's see. Actually, that's going to be it for the lean Republican margins. Actually, you know what? I'm also going to go with Georgia as a lean Republican margin. I think that the incumbent governor will lose in the primary against whoever Trump backs, and I think that Republican will end up winning Georgia by a lean margin. It is a red wave year, and it's definitely not. Please do not look at Georgia the way that they voted in 2021 in those Senate races. That was really because of a lot of what Trump said, not going out to the polls. I do think Georgia is not this lean blue state at the moment. It is still very much a toss-up state, and Republicans still very much can win back that race. All right, let's move on, I guess. Lean Democrat states will be Michigan. Michigan will be a lean Democrat state, as well as, let me take a look at Nevada, because I need to actually take a look at Nevada. I haven't. Also, Doug Ducey in Arizona I'm pretty sure is not able to run for re-election. So Sisolak, yeah. I do think, I forgot who, I had to make sure that Sisolak was the governor. I think that Sisolak will win, even though it's a red wave here by a lean margin. I think it'll probably do 1 to 2 points, but it'll be closer. With Hispanic support moving over to the Republicans, I do want to see some polls coming out. It's really hard to make a prediction just generalizing things. I also see, actually, I forgot about Maryland. Maryland would be a likely state with Hogan not running anymore. And Maine would also be a lean Democrat state. Okay, now let's move on to lean or tilt Republican states. Actually, you know what, lean. I think that Republicans will retake that state back, regardless if Scott Walker runs or not. They will retake Wisconsin by a lean margin in 2022. Red wave year, continuing that trend. Okay, tilt Republican states. I see Michigan flipping over the Republicans and Gretchen Whitmer losing control of the governorship in Michigan, a major victory for Republicans. Gretchen Whitmer lose power. She's pretty unpopular. There are a few scandals with her husband and his boating thing. I'm not really that as familiar on it, but I know that that's a scandal in Virginia that they're not particularly happy with. Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf is not able to run for re-election, so it's going to be much closer, and I think the Republicans will edge that race out as well, being a blue wave year, as well as in New Hampshire. They tend to vote more Republican on the statewide level and less Democrat. And I also see Arizona going Republican, very, very small by a tilt margin. Doug Ducey isn't able to run, but it is yet again a red wave year, and I do think that Republicans will end up carrying that state as well. So anyway, I really don't want to get into the specifics with those races. I'm not even as well versed on them as well, so I wouldn't want to say anything that would make me sound stupid. But that's how I see it going at the moment. I obviously want to wait for more polls in this race to kind of consolidate. The governor races are not as, people don't poll as much on them simply because they're not the national level. They're more statewide level. But hopefully there are some things that come out over the next few months so that we're able to take a look at. But anyway, this is my current governor map. Republicans have all the momentum at the moment going into 2021, 2022. And they can very much have a very, very strong election if they play their cards right. Anyway, thank you guys for watching once more. Make sure to subscribe and comment below if you agree or disagree with anything I say. Like the video, and have a great day. Thank you for watching.